my name is Kate and today I have returned with a cooking video. So today I'm going to make my signature chocolate cake. So I came up with the recipe kind of myself. So the recipe for the dough is the one I've been doing for cupcakes. Yeah, it's not like a real cake dough recipe, but trust me, it is much faster and it is so tasty. You will not gonna regret it. So in order to make the dough, we need 4 eggs. We are gonna need 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of soda with vinegar, and we are going to add 4 tablespoons of white flour. In the meantime, we will be melting 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of dark chocolate. So these are going to be our wet and dry ingredients for the dough. So I'm going to be using a mixer in order to mix all the ingredients because it is faster, but you can use you can whisk it with your hand. It's not a problem, it's gonna be just fine. Also, we have to preheat our oven on maximum, but when we're gonna put the biscuit inside, we're gonna turn it down to 180-200 Celsius. So now, while our butter and chocolate are melting, we're gonna mix our 4 eggs in a bowl. This is just an amazing recipe. Actually, I've been doing like just a cake with it without cream or something, and then I came up with the recipe for a cream cake, like a birthday cake, when I was studying in Portugal. So one of my friends was having a birthday, and another my friend and I, we were thinking what to do, and we decided what a better way like to celebrate the birthday with a homemade cake. So we decided to make a cake, and in order to be sure that it comes out really good, we decided to use the recipes so that we have already tried. So I have made the dough that I've been making for cupcakes for several years by that time, and we made just a simple milk cream for that, and we put cocoa powder inside. So you can put either coffee if you want, but you should put it during the cooking process, or you can put the cocoa powder when the cream is already made, but we're gonna talk about the cream later. So now we have our 4 eggs in a bowl, and I'm gonna mix them with a mixer. Mixed the sugar and the eggs, I'm going to add some soda with vinegar. You can use like a baking powder actually, but I don't really like it. I don't know why, but I prefer the traditional method. So we are using like 1 tablespoon of soda, and we are gonna use vinegar, because vinegar kills this soda taste, but it helps the dough to come up. And we're gonna pour it inside. I usually add some more vinegar because there is some soda always left, and I always mix it separately in a separate cup or jar. I make sure that vinegar covers all the soda inside. Now we're gonna whisk it. So now, while our butter and chocolate are melting, they're almost done, I would say, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of flour. I usually buy a good quality white flour. It makes all the difference. And I also will put 2 spoons right now, and then I'm gonna mix it, and later I will add the other 2 spoons because I don't want I want it to be mixed very good inside, and if I put all the flour at one time, there's a possibility that small like flour balls will be left in the dough, which we don't need, of course. We want it to be all smooth and nice. Okay, 2 done. Let's mix it up. So the reason I decided to make a cake today is because I'm going to work tomorrow, and my co-workers, they know that I cook, and once I brought like a small piece of cake from my brother's birthday, and they loved it a lot, and they've been asking me to make this cake for a long time. So I decided, finally I had some time, so I decided to make the cake and take it to work and like kill 2 birds with one, I would say, to film the video for you and to bring it to the work tomorrow. I hope they will enjoy it. Let's see. I'm just gonna mix it all together, just take it from the sides of my bowl and see with my hand if I like the dough. I think it is like the perfect consistency right now. That's exactly what we need. I'm gonna mix it with a mixer for a little bit more, just to make sure that it's all done. So this part of the dough is done. I think our chocolate and butter are also already melted, so now I'm gonna bring them and add it to the mixture. So as you can see, it's all done. Now I'm adding it here. It shouldn't be boiling, for your information, it should just melt. So if your butter and chocolate are boiling, then you should leave it for some time so that it cools down, because we don't want our eggs to be cooked. So now, since the chocolate is also inside, we are gonna mix it, and actually our dough is pretty done. We're just gonna have to bake it. Okay, so now our dough, biscuit dough, is ready. We are gonna put it in our form, just like that. Oh, it's so chocolatey, it's so good actually. Just to make sure everything goes inside. You can see it's like a perfect chocolate color. And actually you can use any kind of chocolate because it gives a very good, a little bittersweet, you know, taste, so it's better to use the dark one for me. It's amazing. So this is ready. Now let's go to the oven. So now our cake is going into the oven. We turn down the heat to 180 or like 200 degrees Celsius, and it's gonna bake there for around half an hour, 40 minutes. Okay, so now we are done with our biscuit. It is now baking. And now let's move to the cream. You can make actually any kind of cream you want, but this is the one I suggest because it gives an amazing texture. It is not very liquidy, so it's gonna stay as it's supposed to be, and we'll have one layer of cream inside, and there will be like a whole layer of cream outside the cake. So we get like totally 2 layers of cream, and we gonna put a lot of it, and we need it to stay how we put it, because we're gonna have a biscuit and the cream approximately the same size, you know, so it's not gonna be a very dry biscuit with just some cream. There's gonna be a lot of cream, trust me. So now I have in my big bowl 5 500 grams of sugar, and I'm gonna be adding 250 grams of flour. Then I'm gonna mix it all together, and we're gonna be pouring hot milk inside. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. Preheat 1 liter of milk, so now it is on a gas, and when it will be boiled, I'm gonna be adding little by little it to the mixture, and I'm gonna put this mixture on gas as well, and I'll have to stir it a lot and until it gets thicker. And once we are all done, we are just gonna stand and stir it all the way until we see these bubbles, as you can see right now. When it's done, you just have to take it out from the heat and just let it rest and cool down. So 30 minutes later, our cake is all ready. As you can see, it came up. So now we are gonna let it cool a little bit, and when it is all cooled down and the cream is also cooled, I'm gonna make my cake. So when the biscuit is all cooled down, we are going first of all to cut it in 3 pieces. First of all, we are going to cut the upper one, and we have to make sure that the one that is left downside, it's an even one. So this is our main biscuit, and this one we're gonna make a crumble from it. Just make sure to cut it all even. Alright, here we go. So guys, now our cream has cooled down and the cake biscuit as well. Now I'm going to be adding the cocoa powder. Please take a very good cocoa powder, and I'm going to be adding it little by little and mixing it with my mixer. And when I get the right color and the right taste, I'm gonna stop. So let's get into it. The cocoa powder and the cream are not really mixed till the end. However, now I'm gonna add butter inside, 200 grams of butter. I left it outside the fridge so that it is very tender and it blends very easily and nicely with the cream. Okay, so now we are done with the cream and we're finally going to assemble our cake. I'm going to put the cream on the biscuit, but before that I'm going to add some cognac to the biscuit to give it some very tasty and specific aroma. So now I have brought the cognac, and I'm gonna take a spoon and pour it just a little on the biscuit. So when you're making like a normal cake, usually in order not to make it dry, people mix cognac with tea. But since this is not a traditional biscuit for cake, but it's like a muffin for cupcakes, that's why we don't. It is not very dry by itself, and it's not very dry, so it's okay. We can add just the cognac to get the right aroma for that. Okay, so this layer is all done. I'm gonna put it here as well, just to get it kind of like ready. So now I'm starting to put my cream on a cake. You should put a lot of cream. Now let's take our biscuit and I'm gonna pop it upside down, just like that. Okay, our cream is going. I've decided not to melt the chocolate today, but to make this kind of little swirls from the dark chocolate, and I'm gonna sprinkle them on the top of my cake, just like that. So you understand how much chocolate is here, right? This is a lot. A lot of chocolate. Guys, so after a quite long time I have finally finished my cake. So it is a small one, it's not a very big one, but it will be more than enough for me and my colleagues. I really hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you next time. By the way, send me pictures if you make this kind of cake. Thank you a lot. Bye guys.